This was a really interesting video that I thought I would share with all of you from Poor Man's Podcast Reacts. This woman is very interesting and very, very delusional. Let's take a look.
10 out of 10.
Women. Really?
Women are more responsible for failed relationships in
And
2021
why do you feel like that?
because, okay, I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna start it off with a question. All right,
Okay.
let me go and warm up a little bit. When a man DMs you, what makes you determine whether you respond or you don't respond?
I'll be honest with you, I don't take anyone serious that slides into my DMs. Like, that's not where
Of course, you take them seriously. I'm sure you take them seriously enough to respond to them. Come on now.
I'm looking for a relationship from. Like, that's not the mindset I have. So if I respond to a DM, it's based on what you say to me, and it's on a friendly manner. I don't go based on
Men are not looking to be your friend. Men are not looking to be your friend. What are you thinking? Come on now.
relationships from Instagram.
So you've never built a relationship with somebody through messaging. That could be DM on Instagram. It could be SMM. What is it? MSM on.
A relationship, never.
You've never.
All my relationships
Oh my God, do you all remember MSN Messenger? That was the shit back in the day in the MSN chat rooms. Damn.
I have met that person out and about.
Basically, what I'm trying to get at is women look for the wrong things in men, and that's what leads them to a lot of the problems that they have in relationships.
Are you sure that's not women looking for the wrong things in men, or men are looking for the wrong things? Because let me ask you this. Let's turn that question around. What made you DM that woman?
Well, men are just looking to have sex for the most part. Everything else comes in due time. Everything else would be a waste of time. Otherwise, why would men spend time whining and dining you?
What she look like?
Yeah, so men, y'all base that DM on what she looks like, and y'all have no idea what she has in her head, what she has going for herself. So you're telling me that women go based on the wrong things, but you're going based on nothing but physical.
Yes, absolutely. Men are physical creatures. You have to look hot. What's wrong with that? You have to be fit. You have to be fit. You have to be fit. That's the main rule.
How's that not the wrong?
Well, men are visual creatures. And I think where women fail, especially in 2021, is women try to be the same as men. I think at first it was about equality. Now women want to be the same as men. But
And that's a major point. You're seeing that a lot in a lot of modern era women. They want to be men. They're very masculine and they present a lot of masculine energy. You see it all the time. There's nothing new about that. Come on now.
nature has a different role in that.
So men are allowed to be physically attracted to a woman. Women are not allowed to be physically attracted to a man.
You are, but if you go
I mean, let's just face it. Yeah, a woman can be physically attracted to a man, but at the end of the day, it's all about the money. You see all of these rich guys, they're not up to par physically, but financially, they have what you want. They have what you need. So let's not play dum-dum.
for a man that's physically attractive, then you're looking for the wrong things. Don't you want a protector and a provider?
So you just said it yourself. If you go
Of course they want a protector and a provider. That's what it's all about. It's only when it's convenient.
for him that's physically attractive, you're going after the wrong things. But then you turn around and said the question was, women are the reason why relationships are failing in 2021. You clearly just
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. All of the data points to women, not men. Specifically not black men.
told me men are physical. When you go after physical, you're going after the wrong thing. So how are men not the issue?
Well, men and women.
Well, men could be an issue if you make it an issue, but overall, where is the accountability? Where's the accountability? Where is the accountability?
Are different. You gotta understand that off the rip.
So
and I know that's controversial. You can't even say that nowadays.
You can't,
You
because
can't.
how are men and women different? We were both born the same way.
You give.
Definitely not. How are men and women different? Well, do I really have to do a bulleted list of everything that's different? I mean, just as something as simple as I grip. You could take a man, a woman, same height, same weight. Our grip, a man's grip is 17 times stronger than a woman's on average. There's a reason for that. Men are all for logic and facts. Women are all about emotions and feelings. Case in point, through the whole duration of this video, I didn't really even see this video, but I'm going to assume that you say, I feel like, quite a bit.
We both have the same mind. We both have the same opportunities. So
Definitely don't have the same mind. I like to stay fit. I don't think our opportunities are quite the same. I can run.
how are we different?
You give birth, don't you?
That's the only thing.
That's a pretty big difference when you're talking about dating based on attraction, especially when women have the pick of the litter. See, men have to deal with what we can get. Women have the pick of the litter, and you get to choose the men that you have.
Litter. There are more women on this earth than there are men, so therefore.
That's not quite accurate. There's actually more men in the world. However, in the U.S., women outnumber men by millions.
Men have the pick of a litter. You can walk into a room and you can choose from 10 women. Women?
It depends on a man's status. Not just any average man can just pick 10 women. But if you're Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg, you go into an office or whatever, yeah, they'll drop an egg at any time. That's no surprise.
We have to settle. We have to pick and choose.
Do you really have to settle, or is the man settling for you? I mean, seriously, is the man settling for you?
What we decide we're going to deal with and what we're not going to deal with, because there are not enough men out here that are readily available.
So do you think men have more options than women?
Way more.
So if you text every man in your phone right now and you say you want to smash tonight, what's your success rate on that?
100%.
Okay, now ask me the same question.
That's different.
It depends on how you look.
And that's a good point. Men will have fun with women like her, but no man is looking to really marry a woman like that. Come on now.
That's what I would answer to. And
she's so argumentative. What man want to deal with that?
And if you ask for my response on that.
That's
so what I'm basically trying to say is women have the sexual selection. So you get to choose who you want to be involved with.
Men are easy. That's the only reason why I can say
Men are simple, very simple.
100%. Like, the thing is, I feel like women are not as easy to get with than as men are. And
Well, to clarify, Western women, American women, sure.
is what it is. Like, men can be in an entire relationship and you can tell them, hey, I want to fuck you tonight. And they will jump on that. And they will forget what they have at home, but I feel like women think a little bit more into that before they make that decision.
Okay, basically what I'm trying to get at is this. If you want a man that can protect and provide for you because that's a male's role, why are you judging who you want to be with based on appearance?
Because you have to be sexually and physically attracted to a person. I feel like why do we have to accept the bare minimum? But for men, we
accept the bare minimum. I mean, seriously, who's really looking to marry you? I mean, let's just be honest.
We have to come with 100%. We have to check off every box. But as women, we have to be like, you know what? He provides. He's loyal. So therefore,
Yeah, that's reason enough to marry someone. Yeah, it is. Yeah. This isn't a Disney fairy tale. You know, it might be time for you to cancel that Disney Plus membership because it got you all deluded and insane. I'm telling you, this manifestation madness is out of control.
It has to be physically attractive.
What boxes are y'all checking off? Let me know what you...
We check off every...
Oh, they got bullets. I mean, this is like Build-A-Bear Workshop. Anything and everything they could ever wish for. It'll happen one day. It's just not their time. Never mind that this perfect guy can just swoop in from the heavens and swoop them off their feet. Swoop her off her feet, right? And he can be anything and everything she could ever ask for, right? but she's forgetting that she's competing with other women around this man. Come on now.
Everything. We are smart.
Okay.
We provide. We're good wives. We're good mothers. We come from good homes. We can cook.
No, you don't. Women like her, ma'am, women like you were not raised to be a wife. You were raised to be disruptive.
We can clean. We're good in bed. Like everything that we have.
You're good in bed? Okay. I'm gonna just continue.
Have to mount up to, we do. And I feel like as women, unfortunately, we have to settle.
I swear I have to put a I feel like ticker on my videos. I feel like it trumps and eclipses everything. I guess if they feel like some way, I guess, oh shit, I guess, well, I'll be damned. I guess that defeats and kills my argument, huh? And every other man's argument, because they feel like.
I'm going to take it in the order that you said, because when you ask a question off the top, usually people respond with what's off the top.
Okay.
Right? Your first things that you listed had nothing to do with what men want in women.
So what do y'all want?
And that's the problem. We want a feminine woman that wants to be fit, that wants to take care of the small inconvenience.
Oh, she don't like that. She don't like that because now you just put her back into the wall, so she don't like that at all. Now you're getting ready to hold her accountable. Oh, shit.
This is in our lives and reciprocate the value.
And might I add, a woman that sports her own hair and not have long nails, that'll do it too. Men don't like women with all of that fake shit, that horsehair. Men don't like that shit.
So if I go,
Inconveniences.
the inconveniences in my life. So for me, for example, I go to work every single day. My wife gets to sleep in if she wants to. I have a trip to Florida in 10 days. She's already booked the trip. She's already booked the flight. She's already taken care of the Airbnbs. I don't have to worry about that. When I sit down, she brings me a warm plate. That's something that I look for in a woman. I don't care about if a woman can provide.
But
Why would a man care about if a woman can provide?
Do you feel like your household is the typical household that we see now in 2021?
Okay. Why is she answering a question with a question? I don't get it. He asked you a question. Why aren't you just answering the question?
Are we now in a atmosphere where it's both women and men bringing things to the table as far as providing for a household? You say your wife gets to sleep in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
But that's not typical.
But that's because my wife
No, it's pretty typical for stay-at-home moms. They're able to do things like that.
selected me based on my drive and not my appearance. She seen the vision. She seen where I wanted to go, and she helped me get to that position.
So whenever women do that, why do we get called gold diggers? Do you feel like your wife was a gold digger?
No, women don't get called gold diggers. Gold diggers get called gold diggers.
Because she looked at your drive, she looked at your ambition, she looked at what you could do.
Women that take men on dates just for the sake of taking them on dates so that they could get free meals. Yeah, we usually try to group them into the gold digger category, or what is referred to as sneating.
For her financially?
Because remember, 1 out of 3 women, when polled, they admitted to doing that.
My wife was with me since I was 15, so that in particular, I'm gonna give you that, because that's not the typical situation. What I'm trying to get at, if a woman is counted a gold digger if the man already is solidified, and that's what women want in 2021, and that's why it don't work out. Y'all try to go for men that are already solidified, that look a certain kind of way, and then when it don't work out, y'all play dumb. Look at Brittany Renner.
And that's a major point. No woman wants to stick with a guy during his journey, but you better believe that they'll all be at the finish line waiting for him. But they don't like the fact that they're now having to compete with other women who are around these men, women who are actually in shape, that sport their own natural hair and don't have long raptor nails, and that are actually in shape and they're accountable.
PJ Washington, she dealing with PJ Washington. Oh, he told me this, he told me that. That don't matter. Did he put a ring on that finger? We judge character based off action. We judge characters.
They were married.
We judge character based on actions.
They were married, so I'm confused.
PJ Washington and Brittany Renner was married?
Yes.
Oh shit, I fucked that up then. But you looking at like situations like Sierra and Future. Look at their situation. You dealing with a man that's been around the block. He got kids. He ain't been taking care of his kids. And now you want to lay up with him. And this ain't even something that's...
And that's a major point. You have a lot of women who are shocked at the end results of hooking up with a certain kind of men. You know, you have men out here on their whole Rolling Stone lifestyle, and you're shocked because he shot the club up and left you. Come on now. Give me a break. Why does this surprise you? And you're just as equally accountable. The only difference is you get to ask for money.
Celebrity. Only reason I use celebrities is because we all know them people. I can go to the hood right now to it show you hella relationships that's messed up because it's a dude that's a crackhead. He got 3 or 4 baby mamas. He ain't doing nothing with his life. But because he look a certain way, all these women want to lay up with him and date him.
And that's a major point. You have some men who are more or less arm candy for women, and a lot of them are in and out of the prison system, and women want to get with them because, I mean, let's just face it, some women like that sort of lifestyle. They want to have a fast-ass lifestyle, but then they're shocked at the results. Oh my God, he's such a bad person. You wanted that lifestyle. You wanted that light-skinned dude with hazel eyes that's a freaking crackhead and on the streets and ain't doing shit, but he looked good on your arm, so you were ready to take him on.
Based on potential. But when you're talking about potential, are you talking about Will Smith before he became Will Smith? Because that's potential. Are you talking about Barack Obama when Michelle Obama held him down through law school? Because that's potential. But are you talking about a dude that's just sexually...
And might I add, Barack and Michelle Obama, they also come from another time where black families were more relevant, and statistically there were way more black families. And just as equally as it was important for Barack to have a family, it was just as equally important for Michelle to have a family. Again, they grew up in another time, and they were able to indulge in that, which is major props. He should be the poster child. He and his family, they have an amazing family.
Attractive that ain't doing nothing with his life, and you hoping that he get it together one day while he living off of your refund check.
I feel like that's easier said than done. Like you said.
And that's another major point. A lot of women, specifically black women, oftentimes they opt for government assistance as opposed to working something out with a man and being cooperative with a man. We see this all the time. It's not new.
Said, you want women to go, you're telling me women should date based off potential, but as soon as we do that, we get called every negative name in the book. If we look at a man and say,
No, you don't. Because with women like you, it's always worst case scenario.
hey, he has a good job. He can financially provide for me. He might not be the best looking, but I look good. We automatically get labeled a gold digger. But you're telling me that's what we should be going after. But you're also saying that, look at Brittany Renner. She went after a guy that could financially provide for her.
Well, we all know what Brittany Renner is really like. I mean, the woman posted videos of how she got this guy, and basically she's locked down that bag pretty much. So we all know that she's not as legit as a lot of people make her out to be. She gets by on her looks, and she knows it, which is why she was able to get an NBA player.
He might not have been the best guy, but she was. Would you consider Brittany a gold digger?
100.
I would consider her an opportunist, for sure. And I think that...
No, it's okay to say it. No, she's a gold digger. She's a gold digger. And she's an opportunist. She wanted that opportunity to get knocked up by a wealthy NBA player.
Her resume shows that, and I think that that's why she's catching the flack. She's catching the flack because she promoted herself and branded herself as a woman that would go after men for a check.
Why can't we go based off potential and opportunity?
You can go based off of potential and opportunity, but the problem is y'all not going off of potential and opportunity. Y'all going off of men that are already successful. That's the problem.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to look at the age that we're...
And that's a major point. You have women like this who tend to go after the top 9%, the top 3% of men, and then they get upset that these men don't want nothing to do with them, right? And then they say, oh, he don't want me because I'm strong, independent, yada, yada, yada. We hear this shit all the time. But it's like they just don't like the fact that they have to compete with other women. And I said this earlier in the video. Men like that, they want women who are fit and ready to go. A woman that's not disruptive and that's not going to cause problems.
Dating at this point, there are people becoming more successful younger and younger. We're not talking about these people that are becoming successful in their 50s and 60s. People are becoming millionaires in their young 20s.
That's Instagram. That's the difference in perspective.
That's anecdotal. That's anecdotal. The average person is not getting rich. Focus on what's probable, not possible.
Men don't reach financial potential, the peak of their financial potential, until about 55 to 65 years old.
That's not always true, though.
It's not always true, but see, now we going.
Okay, this is where I'm getting ready to go off. Why does it have to be 100% or nothing? I said this in my last video. It does not have to be absolute value or none. But typically when a woman is losing an argument, they say, well, it's not everyone. Well, no shit, right? He's speaking in a general sense. There's no way to determine every single living soul. But speaking in a general sense, using the data and the knowledge and the information and the statistics we have, we could come to a reasonable and sound conclusion. That's perfectly fine. But the thing is, they don't like that when you start bringing out the numbers, the data, and the statistics. They don't like that. I said this in my last video. At the end of the day, the objective truth is always going to be true no matter what. Just remember that.
To the exceptions.
But you don't know who I date. What if I date the exception?
We going to the exceptions.
What if I date the exception?
But
you're dating the exception? What makes you the exception? What makes you so special? I don't get it. Because usually if someone is the exception, they're not looking for you. Someone that's the exception, that's rich and all of that, they're not looking to marry women like you. The exceptions are the rich and wealthy men, the men that are doing well for themselves. They're not looking for women like you.
you don't, because if you was dating the exceptions, you would still be with them.
Who says I'm not with him?
Okay, maybe that's fair.
Okay, so now she's being just disingenuous. She's being very disingenuous.
What I'm basically getting at is women are looking for the wrong. Name me one good king, one good conqueror that had one woman.
LeBron.
You think LeBron got one? I'm an athlete. I'm an ex-professional athlete. Come on, let's keep it a buck. You think LeBron ain't? And I'm not even going.
LeBron James is worth $1 billion. I think he's probably the most valuable NBA player in the league. You better believe he's slanging and banging other chicks. 100%. There's no goddamn way he's not.
And you can't even
see, men notice. Women, they use their feelings and emotions because he presents himself very well, I guess, but no, he's slanging and banging.
count Martin Luther King because he was sleeping around.
He was.
Right, so what we talking about? Any good man that has already been established? Come on, let's just keep it a buck.
I'm just saying,
it's
like,
a clean
y'all can't-
image. Didn't we just discuss that if you text everybody in your phone right now, you said 100% success rate would sleep with you?
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that. They'll be ready to smash.
That's not the case for average men. Do you know that 30% of men will be virgins by the age of 30? Will have never touched a woman. That means that women have the selective choice of who they mate with. So you have the responsibility of who you allow in your body. Y'all choosing them based off appearance. That's what I'm trying to get at. And y'all got a layout. All you got to do as a woman is, okay, so for men, our burden to society, our burden to humanity is to build civilizations. That's our job. Whatever you want, I'm going to provide. Men, build the microphone, build the camera, build the house. This is all men. This is what we do. We provide. You going to make the face like we don't do that? This is what we do. We provide for.
Historically, women have started things first a lot of the time, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Definitely not. So now she's speaking with her feelings and emotions because it just doesn't sound right, and she feels like that's just not right, and it just debunks and defeats her argument. So then she's going to play like she doesn't understand. A lot of willful ignorance, I swear.
Go ahead. The reason why I feel like it is men because I feel like men have too many options. I feel like men kind of are at this point, like they find something good, but they're never satisfied. So whenever they feel like something else comes to them.
So, if you're referring to a man that's in a status that you'll more than likely never see, because now you're well within the realms of possibilities, which the billionaires and all of that. Yeah, those type of men, they live a whole entirely different lifestyle. Similarly to a woman that can move about this world, and specifically in the U.S., on pretty girl privilege. You're no competition to her, because most men won't even give you a second look.
Might be a little bit better. Unfortunately, they hop on that and they take that next option.
So when I just said the statistic that 30% of men will be virgins, that didn't like do anything. That didn't prove.
Nothing.
That didn't show to you that men don't, by and large, have the majority of the options. Men get with what they can get. Women get to choose who they want.
And to kind of add on to that, you know, women, they can use their opportunities to move about. They all pretend like they're the exception, but they're not. Everything about them is average. I'm sorry. Vaginas come average on women. I don't know what to tell you.
When it comes to sexual
Because I feel
opportunity.
like virgins could be not shit too.
I feel
So
like.
no.
So everybody in your phone that you get to choose from, those are all men that are in your plethora of people you can be involved with. Now it's up for you to decide whether those men are good candidates for you to be involved with. Now that's your responsibility as a woman. Like I said, a man's responsibility is to build civilizations and societies. A woman's responsibility is to bring forth the next generation of society builders. That's your job.
No.
See, she doesn't like that. She doesn't like that. Because it's not in sync with her feelings.
I feel like I have to disagree.
See?
I feel like women
I feel like
build families. Women build
All day.
households. Women build homes. So
I mean, what are we talking? Fictional Themyscira, maybe? An all-women society where Wonder Woman is from? Sure, why not? They sculpt great things and everything. Sure, I'll give you that.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
How can you say that women build these things and you say that men are responsible for the failings of relationships,
Yes.
but the things that you listed that women are bringing to the table in relationships aren't things that men want in relationships?
Maybe not what you want, but I feel like that's what the typical
feel
man wants.
If I can
Because she's an expert, I feel like that's what typical men want. I feel like. Can't make this shit up. It's right here. Oh my gosh.
provide for my family and my kids, and I make enough money to do that by myself, why do I care about how much money you bring to the table when you want me to pay all the bills anyway? So when I ask you what you bring to the
men are paying
table,
all the bills nowadays?
when I ask you
They're
what you,
not.
when
They
I
are.
ask you,
Men are asking women to split checks. Women go to dinner and men are asking to go Dutch.
that's
And, you know, I'm all for it. You know, we live in an era of equality, so it can't be only when it's convenient. And we live in an era of sneeding. Women who are going on dates with men just for the sole purpose of racking up bills, getting a nice meal, some good wine, you know, going to bars, racking up shit, and then just leaving a man there to foot the bill. 1 in 3 women admitted to doing this. This is not new. I don't understand why you're shocked. And if a man is out there dating a bunch of women, especially a man that has a lot going for himself, do you realize how expensive that would be to take every single woman on a date, on a nice date that involves dinner, wine, and all of that? You're talking several hundreds of dollars. Men always get the short stick all the time, every single time. And it's expected of us because of society says so. But generally, men still do it.
because
I'm sorry,
you asked
men are not
for
playing-
it.
men
You
are not
asked.
paying-
Because realistically, I guarantee you that if you were to take a man on a date and he racks up a big bill for your ass, and you end up deciding to not continue anything with him, he can't then come to you and ask you to write him a check for wasting his time, his money. How about you Venmo him, Zelle him, Cash App? There's so many ways. Send cryptocurrency. But you women won't do nothing like that.
For
bills.
equality.
Men are not paying
If
bills.
you ask for equality, we give you what you want. You ask for society.
But it's not convenient for them because they feel like, they feel like that men should do all of this stuff because they're victims.
Are you
we give you what you want.
Because you're broke, and because we can provide better.
So now she's going into the shaming and the guilting because you're broke. Come on now. Who would want a woman like this? So much disruption.
Oh, is that what it is? Because when last time
And women like her, they get by on shaming men.
I check, women don't make as much as men on average. Last time I checked, there's a lot of women that think they boss babes and boss B words walking around here that's solo and angry and sad.
See, I don't like that. I don't like
No
that.
one
So you're
cares
telling
what
me
you
just
like.
because she's a
No one
boss, She has
cares.
to be solo. She has to
He's telling the truth. You have a lot of women, specifically black women, walking around talking about their boss bitches and all of that, and people need to, be entrepreneurs and all of that. 9 times out of 10, your little punk ass Etsy store ain't doing anything. You ain't selling nothing but eyelashes, fake hair, and acrylic nails and shit, trying to promote your next scene in Jurassic World. Come on now.
be bitter. She has to be by herself. I have to disagree because I feel like whenever men want to be a boss, whenever men want to be this like mogul, women praise them. But whenever it comes to black men,
well, yeah, typically women go for moguls. They do, because moguls have money. And typically they have a lot of money and a lot of resources. And these resources are important for women. These resources are valuable to women.
and whenever it comes to black independent women, y'all automatically consider
we
us
go.
bitter because we're successful, and that's not fair.
No. It's nothing to do with being bitter because you're successful. Other races of women are successful, but for some odd reason, no one knows. It's all the mysterious scene. Black women reigns their independence. Their I don't need no man. This is nothing new. We see this all the time.
What we don't have anymore is family, right? And that's because the women, what we want from women, they're not providing to us. We don't have any stability in our household. When you look at the Martin Luther King movement, when you look at the Malcolm X movement, when you look at Black Wall Street, all of that was built by black families, not by black women being independent women, looking for the highest guy on the totem pole that they can get. Because you understand that when men have opportunity, like you said, they largely do not settle down with one woman. So why are women looking for men that are the most handsome and tall?
And that's what I don't understand. A lot of Western women, not just here in the US, but in the UK and in Canada, a lot of them act like that they're under Sharia law or some shit. They act like that they're living in Afghanistan. I just don't get it. They're some of the most freest women, especially women here in the US. They're some of the freest women in the world. There's been no better time in history for them to be who they are right now. But because of this, they've become increasingly disruptive and increasingly misandrous for no reason, just beyond social media, listening to their ratchet ass friends.
This guy that got all the money, when that's not the guy that's statistically speaking going to stick with you, and you know that because you just said it.
So to go back to your point, the reason why we don't have families is because black men are not present. Let's take a plethora of examples. Let's look at Tristan Thompson. Tristan.
So, black men are present. Black men who are incarcerated that ain't about shit are not present. And we know that black women often opt for government assistance as opposed to getting along with their spouse or significant other. We know this. This is not nothing new.
Has a third baby mama Okay? And he was willingly sleeping with this woman unprotected, nutting in her. Okay?
Right.
He knew what the outcome could be.
Right. Right.
But as soon as she got pregnant, he said, well, I'm not going to be present. So why are
Okay.
you even having the baby? So why are you having unprotected sex with a woman when you don't even plan on being
Just no accountability for the woman that knew who this individual was and what he was about. No accountability. It was all on the man. It was the man's fault.
present for a possible baby that could happen?
Okay, listen to
Let's
this
take
though.
Future.
Hit me out. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Talk
Let's take
future.
Future.
Talk future.
10, he has like what, 10 children?
10 of them.
10.
God.
NBA young boy.
What? 10 of them. All of
Yeah, these guys are rolling stones. The women who shack up with them because they want to live that lifestyle, why are they surprised of the outcomes? You picked them.
them girls.
You ignored the guy that's working at McDonald's. You ignored the guy that's trying to make something of himself. You ignored the guy that was in school. You wanted to go after that entertainer. And you're shocked that other women want him. And you're shocked that he has a plethora of other women. Come on now.
So you have one sexually irresponsible man, but you have 7 sexually irresponsible women. Or in Future's case, you said 10, 9 sexually
Wow.
irresponsible women. Because why
You're
would you
blaming the woman?
listen to this? If you're a
Yeah.
woman, why are you laying down with the man that you know that does not take care of his children? You're going after.
There is no accountability. There is no accountability. And I must add, the sisterhood is so strong. They will not hold each other accountable. Yeah, girl, you can do whatever you want. You a queen. Man ain't shit. Yada, yada, yada. It's crazy. It's insane.
After status symbols. You're going after men that you find that are successful, that already have the clout. You know that they're not going to stick to you. You already said that. And then when you get left in the dust, you cry on social media like this, like you didn't know it was going to happen. You knew what you came for.
Y'all know how men are.
Uh-oh.
Men can go into a relationship. They might have a bad history. They might have a bad rap. But when you go into the relationship, they might be telling you sweet nothings. Okay? Next thing you know, you think you're different.
Worst case scenarios. Worst case scenarios. And there's about 999 million different scenarios. I guess she's picking one of the bunch.
Okay? So you think you're different and you feel like the story might play out differently for you. So how are you going to blame the woman when it's the man that has the children? This woman is
So, are men really that powerful? So, it's like a hentai, right? Where our dicks just paralyzes them. And I don't understand. Come on.
coming in, no kids, no history. The man has all the history, and you're telling me you want to blame the woman?
I blame the woman because she's dealing with a man she knows number one, because she's dealing with a man that she knows is inconsistent. Number 2, because she has birth control. She has Plan Bs. She has.
And men can't.
Hold on. No, I got you.
That's a huge point. We live in an era where there's so many different birth control methods. She decided to have that baby. She wanted to secure that bag. She knew what she was doing.
Can't
Okay,
pull
I
out.
got you.
Men can't just be
I
responsible.
got you. She has birth control, Plan Bs. She has condoms. Worst case scenario, she has reproductive rights. When a man sleeps with a woman and that child or that what it is, I ain't trying to for the algorithm. When it goes inside of her, have no connection to that child whatsoever. Men have less reproductive rights than women. Now we can talk about condoms, but if we just keeping it a buck, these women decided to lay down with men that they knew were inconsistent, and that's their problem, and that's the problem at large. A lot of women are deciding to sleep with men that they know are inconsistent, and they don't care.
So you said that women have condoms. So why is it whenever a man tries to go in raw, you tell him no, you're like, where's the condom at? Oh, I don't have condoms. But if the woman was to pull a condom out, would you not feel like, why she have condoms?
No, I feel like
Well, I would be suspicious. I wouldn't use a condom, especially if I was of a certain status and a woman gives me a condom to use. No, thank you. Because we realize that women tend to play games and poke holes in condoms too.
okay, she being responsible at least. Because what are we doing? If I'm not willing to have a child, and I understand me as a man, me being a responsible man, this is what you should be looking for. If you're looking for a man that's going to question you on that, you shouldn't even be in that situation no way.
But why are you trying to go in raw in the first place?
But why are you dealing with a man that you don't know in the first place?
How do you think I don't know him? Just because, what? How?
When you lay down with a man and you ain't even talked about sex before you having sex, what are you doing having sex?
Why do you have to talk about sex before you have sex? Why can't it just be spontaneous?
Because if you can't have a conversation about something.
See, they want everything, but they want no accountability. No accountability whatsoever. I don't know what man would put up with a woman like this. So more than likely, she's going to be single for the rest of her life.
Something that you're uncomfortable with, why are you doing it?
Who's saying that you're uncomfortable?
If you're doing something that could dictate the entire direction of your life,
Yes.
and you think that you should be as irresponsible as to not even have a conversation as to whether you should use protection before you do it, as a woman,
So you're telling me you never had sex unprotected?
I'm telling you, I got a wife, so I do it.
That's not what he said. Can you please just listen to his words? Don't make up things.
Now I'll shoot the club up, baby, but that's me. We hit on some good points when it comes to the whole dynamic. But the truth of the matter is, and I think we agree now, you can jump around the loop and jump around the holes and circles. You agree with me that men have fewer options?
No.
You don't think that men have fewer options than women?
No. We never agreed.
You
that.
agree with me that men who have a lot of options don't commit to women, generally speaking?
Yes.
Okay, so when you see the situations with Future and all the people you brought up, they're dealing with men that have a lot of options, but they decide to be sexually irresponsible. So when you're dealing with a group of women that worship the men that are part of the problem in a culture,
And that's just it. You have a lot of women chasing these men.
I mean,
hood dudes,
There is
thugs,
there's black
entertainers.
Man worship. That's very true.
Yeah,
There's
no,
black man
and it
worship.
largely goes for thugs and entertainers.
Yeah.
Nobody wasn't checking for Will Smith before he was Will Smith. Nobody was checking for Jordan Peele before he was Jordan Peele. These
Okay.
dudes are lame.
Major
These
fact.
dudes are weirdos until they get successful, right? But
I said this earlier. They're always at the end waiting for you. But more than likely, they're not interested in coming with you during your journey.
a guy like Future can have 8 baby mothers and still get 7 women pregnant, or 10 baby mothers, like you said, and after the first one, 9 women will still lay down with him knowing that he is not sexually responsible. That means that there are 9 sexually irresponsible women, 1 sexually irresponsible man. That is the problem. And everybody...
And they can't say they didn't know. I mean, his information is all over the place. You could look up Future everywhere. World Star Hip Hop, TMZ, various news entities. He's all over the place. So it shouldn't be a shock. But again, there's no accountability. They're all victims.
Everybody will point out the man and saying that he is a part of that problem, which he is, but that's only 1 man and 9 women. So why are we not talking about the 9 women that are also a part of that problem?
He's a repeat offender, okay? He's a repetitive offender. So
And there's just no letting up. The need to be right, women like her, they have to be right. They have to. And if you don't allow them to be right, then they will revert to, we can agree to disagree, or they can start throwing shaming and insults and trying to guilt you and all of this other nonsense. We see it all the time.
therefore, I feel like he is more irresponsible
And I said it in my last video. It's like they all read from the same playbook.
than these 9 women that you are claiming to be irresponsible. My point is, to answer this question, I feel like men are the more responsible party for failed relationships in 2021 due to...
Well, you can feel like all you want, but the data doesn't show that. Men generally stay in relationships. Oftentimes women leave and they cite the most hideous things ever. Oh, he wasn't on my level. Oh, he and I wasn't compatible. Oh, he was abusive. And then when you ask him what the abuse was, oh yeah, we just had disagreements and all of this other stuff. Oh, he's just not on my level. You see this shit all the time. This is the modern era situation that men have to deal with.
To the fact that they're never satisfied. They have too many options. I feel like men do the absolute bare minimum, if that, at this point. So I feel like women, they continue to try and try and try.
I think she wants to sit on like a platinum like platter and be fed grapes.
But it's like men just don't step up to the plate anymore. They just don't. They don't provide. They're not what they're cut out to be. So unfortunately, it's women who are holding these relationships together, and
What-
they can't hold them together anymore.
I think the problem is
No data supports that. No data. My experience does not support that. Most men in Western civilizations don't support that argument. So you can feel all you want.
a lot of women think providing is abundance nowadays.
No.
Providing, because for me to provide, if I'm living in the middle of America, let's not take Dallas in situation because we are in Dallas, but let's go.
And I said this before, you can have a loyal white knight beta simp ready and willing to take you on. I mean, he'd be ready to bend the knee, but you will not be with him because you would claim that he's weak, he's not on your level, and you won't take him seriously.
Middle of America, you can live comfortably over 50K, but a lot of women largely are unaccepting of that. A lot of women want more, right? So you're talking about men are not satisfied with their situation,
And about 50K, that's the median salary.
but it's obviously the women because the women are the ones dropping out at 70%. These are the women are the ones filing for divorce.
50K is
Right.
not enough. I'm just
See, there we go. 50K is not enough, right? But it is enough.
Can't
That's
buy
if
you
you
a
want a
house.
man that can.
And that's the thing. It's not enough for who? Because who the hell are you chasing? And who the hell is going to pick you and propose to you? Being as argumentative and disruptive as you are, I just don't get it.
Protect and provide. If you want a man that can provide you abundance, that's when you start going into that group
Why
of
does
men.
that have to be abundance? I want a house. I want cars. Like, how is that abundance? That's
Because
just
a man,
minimum.
if
Then if you want all of this, you need to get with a guy that's decent, that has a job, and work with him along the way and learn how to get along with him and cooperate with him so that you can get a house and a car and all of this other nice stuff. But until you're ready to do that, that's not going to happen. And I don't know what man is going to put up with your sassy ass. Come on now.
if you know anything about finances, you know that a man
I
can
mean, just the entitlement blows my mind away.
have a house with 50K. You know that.
Not the
But
house
see,
I want.
women don't even
You're right.
have a concept of the money. Not the house you want.
Not the house I want.
Not the house you want. That's hypergamy. That's you wanting more. And
That's
then when
not
you
hypergamy.
But listen,
If I bring more than 50K
hear me
to
out
the
though. Hear me
table,
out. Let me go finish. Let me go
want more
finish.
than 50K.
If you have hypergamy and you want a man that makes more than that, now you get into that group of men that are part of the 10% group. Those men have a lot of options, and we agreed that when men have a lot of options, they don't settle down. Women want these men to make 100K, thinking that it's just sweet and it's normal. Most men, the average wage for a man is 50K. So if you want a man, you got to be okay with 50K.
Look, she
That's where
mad.
you at. Once you start to become hypergamous,
not
you're going to start to deal with
fair.
relationship
That's
issues.
actually
And
not
like you
fair.
just said, you don't
Not
think that he's
fair.
going to be able to
Fair.
provide a house
this
big
should be
enough for you.
interesting.
That's not fair. So you're telling me just because I want a man, I have to be settled with 50K? That doesn't make any sense.
So, here we go again. Manifestation madness. As she grows older, as she grows in other ways, I don't see how she can really compete with other younger women who are fit and who are on the market.
Okay.
But I'm going to end this right here. This was really interesting. I do think that this woman needs to go to therapy, and she probably needs to speak to some sort of counselor and some sort of guidance coach, because it's obvious that she was not really taught to be a wife, and she probably gets a lot of her information from the wrong entities, and it's caused her to cloud her better judgment. It's sad and it's unfortunate, but you can't really do about it, because due to the whole cognitive dissonance thing and them starting to reject anything as they get older, and as they grow older, they just tend to reject stuff, especially from men. Oh my God, from black men, hell yeah. So with women like her, unfortunately, I mean, she's doomed. But be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. I want to hear from you guys. This has been really interesting. I really appreciate all of these YouTubers bringing light to this, because it's so important and we have so much work to do. So until the next time, Peace.